It is the 60th anniversary of the day that will live in infamy, December 7th, 1941, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. For many, it's a time to remember a day that changed the world forever. NBC's George Lewis is in Pearl Harbor with more. George, good morning.
Good morning, Katie. I'm standing on the shore of Ford Island, the Arizona Memorial behind me. This is the ground zero of Pearl Harbor, and on this day, people are thinking about the lessons of that day and the legacy of this place. All this week, the Pearl Harbor survivors have been revisiting the historic sites here. The 60-year-old memories still vivid in their minds. Phil Rasmussen was a pilot in the Army Air Corps. When Pearl Harbor was attacked that morning, Rasmussen had just gotten up. He raced to his plane, still in his pajamas.
At about 9,000 feet, we encountered some zeros, and all hell broke loose.
When he landed, his plane was badly shot up, 500 bullet holes. Now, at age 83, he thinks he knows why he survived.
My mother's prayers.
For the Pearl Harbor survivors, mostly men in their 80s, there's a feeling that this is their last big get-together. The USS Arizona blowing up on December 7th, 1941. Among the youngest of the survivors, the Zuber sisters, then 9 and 10, daughters of the commander of the Marine barracks. They lived just 100 yards away.
It really looks the same. It's amazing.
Now, 60 years later, Joan and Peggy have returned. Ford Island was heavily damaged in the Japanese attack. The planes and the hangars reduced to rubble.
We were being strafed by a Japanese fighter plane, but I didn't understand what it meant.
Today, the scars from the Japanese strafing are still visible. Now, the Navy has plans to develop Ford Island and may tear down some of these buildings. That has many Pearl Harbor survivors upset.
It has to be preserved so other people can see it and experience it.
Ford Island is so incredibly significant because it is the Gettysburg battlefield of the Second World War.
The Navy says the sailors who died on December 7th, 1941 will never be forgotten, but needs to develop this valuable real estate.
Navy is dedicated to the preservation of all historical aspects of this particular area.
The two sisters are hoping that long after they and the rest of the Pearl Harbor survivors are gone, that the history of this place is saved for future generations. At this hour, they're putting up flags on the Arizona Memorial, getting ready for a service later this morning to honor the 2,390 Americans who died here on December 7th, 1941.